Alright, thanks for clicking on the video. This is Gulpane, back again just with a quick, well, it's not a video response, it's more like a video response, but I can't remember who said it, and it's 5 games to be remastered or remade, like 5 old games to be remade like with modern graphics, or to be like remastered with modern graphics, or remade into you know, into the modern genre. So here's 5 for the PS2. Let's have a look. So for the PS2, there's a lot of talk at the moment because Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 remake, Resident Evil 4 remake, so there's a few Resident Evils that are up for being remade. So for me, I think they should remake Dead Aim. So I know Dead Aim, like, people don't like it in general. They think it's like, there's that one really annoying boss, the big fat guy, and if you don't know about the mouse, it's like really difficult. You know, you can plug in the mouse to the PS2 and you can play with the mouse instead of the controller. Well, you play the controller to move around. What's his name? Bruce McGivern and Fong Ling, and you can move them around with the controller, but then you can use the mouse to actually target the zombies on screen with the kind of the first person view that it uses. So because I think there was a gun with it, but then they couldn't bring out the gun because of like a school shooting in America or something like that, or there was some shooting in Japan or something, but they didn't bring the gun with it, or the gun didn't come with it or something, so they made it like just kind of the controller instead. Or I could be getting that completely wrong, but I think that's what happened. So Resident Evil Dead Aim, I think that would be really good remade in like the Resident Evil 2 remake or the Resident Evil 3 remake style, just like make it like that. The next one for the PS2 is, this one is a lesser known game, but it's a really good game as well for the PS2, but I don't think it got like the proper credence or the proper like fanfare when it came out. Is Largo Winch. The graphics in Largo Winch, they look a bit rough actually, to be honest. I think that could be why, but the story and the gameplay was excellent. It's like you're like a rich billionaire guy, and you're like a scientist, and you have to go around kind of like secret missions and espionage and stuff. So the PlayStation 2 game is very good. I had it for PS2, but it kept crashing in my PS3, so I got rid of it. So I'll have to get it back and play it again, because I have a couple of PS2s now that I can play it on. So I think Largo Winch would be a good game to again, to not just remaster it, like remake it in modern graphics, but keep the same like gameplay and keep the same kind of script and stuff. I think it would be very good. Another good one I think, which could do with a remake, is Zone of the Enders. So Zone of the Enders for PS2, it's too short. It's a very, very good game. You're like a robot, and you go around shooting other robots on like a grid kind of area, and there's a story in it, and the story is very like emotional, but it's not very well presented, or there's not enough story scenes in it for you to actually know what's going on. I think there's like, maybe you have to read like a comic book or something as well, or I don't know. But Zone of the Enders, I think, would, if it was remade into like a more sort of like a management game, where you had to manage the robot or other robots, the Jehuty, and you had to basically like deploy people in different areas, and then you could take control in the third person of one of them when you're going on the missions. I think that'd be very good. There's not enough games like that. I think the games at the moment, they tend to stick to like a few different formulas, and there's not as much experimentation with games as there was years ago. Oh well, what can you do? Another one I think they could remake for PS2. These are all sort of this very similar genre actually. They're all sort of like third person games. It's Cold Fear. So they could remake Cold Fear in like the Resident Evil 2 style as well. I think that'd be good. Again, I love Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 3 remake. I don't like Resident Evil 4 in general, because I think it's just like Leon is going to a town in Spain and killing everyone. That's what it seems like to me. So I much prefer when the enemies are zombies, not like infected people. Anyway, it's just a small thing, like, but I didn't really like Resident Evil 4 anyway. I like the mercenary modes on it, but I didn't really like it in general. I prefer like the city, when you're in the city. It's just, I like that better. One of my friends, I always remember we had a conversation, like, I like the city kind of aesthetic, or the city kind of setting. He likes labs or sewers and stuff, like, so the town or the countryside in Resident Evil 4, I don't really like it. But I think Cold Fear would be good because it's on like a boat, and similar to sort of Dead Aim, they could use the same engine. They could always reuse the same assets as well, if the licensors of Cold Fear wanted to give it to Capcom. But I think Cold Fear would be a good one for a third person sort of like Resident Evil 2 remake action adventure game. And then the last one then is, I think they're probably going to do it anyway, but Code Veronica could do it from PlayStation 2, could do it a remake as well. So I don't think they should remake Resident Evil 1 in like the Resident Evil 2, 3 remake style. I think they should remake Code Veronica in that, because Code Veronica could do with a remake because it doesn't have a remake already. Resident Evil 1 already has a remake, and that remake is perfect. Don't worry about it, that's fine. And like Resident Evil 0, they don't need to remake that either. But Code Veronica is a bit sort of like rough around the edges. It's kind of like Silent Hill 1 or 2, the way they've done it. The way the backgrounds are 3D, but they're still like, you know, stationary. So yeah, Code Veronica I think should be remade. So if you've got any PlayStation 2 games you think should be remade, let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, make a video about it so I can watch the video. So thanks for watching till the end, and thanks for commenting and subscribing. Appreciate it. Have a great day.